Did our mind just get violated? We really do need an adult. First, we get violated by being touched in a spot we didn't consent to, and then our mentor protector guy gets beheaded. Like, this is actually kind of worst case scenario. Bro, ain't no one saying that name. You know damn well there's gonna be some weeb like, I can properly say it, and then it's like not right, but they'll be convinced they have the proper enunciation. I love how no matter what, they just refuse to let an episode lately go by without the sisters bathing together. The best part too is even uncensored in the Blu-ray, I doubt anything more would really be shown. Fuck them goblins! Imagine Goblin Slayer got isekai'd real quick, saw these kids just slaying goblins, and was like, I'm not needed, and just left. Oh man, we're doing way better damage this time, huh? It's crazy what happens when we have a proper weapon. We were casually playing on Nightmare difficulty for no fucking reason last time. Fucking hell. What an evil scumbag. We signed up to ride a big black dragon, not to get violated by a gangbang. We have standards, damn it. Oh boy, of course those are just some of the highlights. The full uncut unblurred live reaction is over on Patreon, if you're so interested. But let's jump into it. We got a lot to talk about this week. I mean, the worst ending is potentially incoming. And the worst ending, what is that? It's not simply the fear of the Black Dragon rematch ending in potential bloodbath. That could potentially be a possibility with its regeneration abilities. No, it's the fact that the one time we send them on their own, because essentially their training thing of like, hey, clear floor 30, they have an advisor with them. Well, did have an advisor with them, Rip Bozo. We say, you know what? It overlaps. You guys got this. Normally, it would be fine. Unfortunately, the fucking cult is here and they're killing everyone. There is a non-zero chance. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but there is actually a slim possibility that we could end up with potentially one, maximum all of them dying, and it's just a complete, absolute shit show. Will it happen? Probably not. But, if they manage... Now, are they going to defeat them? No. But if they manage to escape somehow, that will be impressive. But I don't think that's the play. I think it's if they can survive long enough by themselves for Orun to get there after defeating the dragon, then you end up with this group having to deal with the fact that they're not as big dick as they think. The big thing will be is what the girl, the childhood friend of Orun, will do if she realizes that the person they're looking for is a long lost friend, right? I do think when they introduce the concept of her assuming Orun's dead, Orun assuming she's dead, learning that the church probably fucked with Orun's memories so that his true power wouldn't come out and potentially destroy everything, they reshaped where this show could go and why I think a season 2 and maybe even a season 3 is so important to get. I do think there's a decent chance we see a season 2, but if not, it will definitely be a missed opportunity because there's so much uncertainty with her as a character and her current war-torn path. I mean, there's probably a genuine reason why she's probably trying to burn everything down, but I do genuinely wonder if a lot of her hatred is misplaced and most of the shit she's pissed off with is actually who she's working with and has no idea. But I guess time will tell. The nice thing is that Orun gave all three of them a special necklace, an amulet, and I figured it was probably something to do with like perfectly matching an element or something to make their fighting style better. No, in fact, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but based on his reaction, if there was enough threat of danger, he would get alerted, and that's why they now know that, well, the sisters group is kind of shit out of luck. The issue is that I figured what would happen is we'd just very quickly defeat the dragon and they would, speed up the process. The issue is the dragon can regenerate. Could it always regenerate? Probably, because I don't get the impression that the floors change, they just reset. But I guess there's an argument to be made if you clear a floor enough, potentially it starts to adjust for the adventures in question. So maybe the fact that it can regenerate now is something that is new, but I probably just assume, I feel like it adjusts based on the party in question. You'd have to assume there's like a lot of logic and rules at play that we can't comprehend, but if you consider the fact that when we fought this thing last, we had a group of kids, we were a one-man army fighting with a level 1 sword against a level 99 dragon, and it wasn't regenerating. Now we have a competent party, nothing distracting us, and it's regenerating. It makes sense to me to assume it's adjusting for the people in front of them. Now, it's not going to be like, oh my god, some level 3 scrub comes in, so the dragon's going to be defeatable, but it's probably not going to be regenerating every cut you do to it. That's kind of my assumption right now. But it could also just be that it's adjusting for the floor evolves after enough time, or it could just always do it and for some reason chose not to before. Hard to say exactly. I feel like the most realistic option is they end up defeating this dragon, and the sisters group ends up escaping. They barricaded off the 3 exits, and I don't know what they can do. Like, they are children at the end of the day. If we want to play devil's advocate to what I'm saying, these kids are talented. I mean, there's no denying that they now have party formation. They all have their unique talents. But, you know, are the very powerful bad diddlers who are trying to kidnap us or murder us going to easily go down like some goblins? Probably not. They were prepared for floor 30, and I feel like what ended up happening was floor 100 came to their doorstep. And that's deeply unfortunate for them. And I mean, the one saving grace we kind of had was we had someone who was our bodyguard. He was kind of like the chaperone, because the way they explain it is like, it'd be very easy for like people to pretend they cleared a floor all by themselves. They passed their test, but someone was secretly helping them. So you send someone like this. And it's not that this man was incompetent. He immediately was like, I need to protect these kids against stranger danger. And sadly, this isn't a show with plot armor for everyone. So, you know, he immediately got his head severed when cut like that. It's hard to imagine any of them really being able to deal with what we have. We have our very depressed suicidal maniac girl who immediately got thrown into a wall. She is the leader. She might be able to do something. I like Logan, but I don't think he's got it in him. If she can pull this party together to survive until Arun and company get there, it's doable. But, and I'm not saying it's a high likelihood, I think there's a better chance they all live than not. I don't see the show going dark and killing one of these 3 kids. But if I'm to say with a straight face it's 100% guaranteed they all live, I'd be fooling myself. Even if it's only 1% chance that one of these kids could die, it's still higher than I ever would have given prior to this episode. And it's possible we could have the darkest and worst ending of a season imaginable if we don't get there in time or they can't save the day. And that's kind of insane to think about. I've really liked this show. I've said it for a bit that this isn't your average banished hero story. And I'm going to stand by that statement. I think at face value, it's easy to look at anything you see in the show and say, oh, here it is, just another powerful guy pretending not to be powerful, but he's powerful nonetheless. No, the insecurities and vulnerabilities he had, and then especially tying it into the fact that people lied to him about how strong he is super interesting. Add in like a kind of cultist church storyline and just the actual redemption. Like I had one person, I'm not sure if it was on last week's video or a different video, but I read it last week. And like their entire criticism was, the show's called Jack of all trades, party of none, and now he has a party. False advertising. It was like something to like that nature. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, they're making them like, how much lead is in that man's water that they're speaking like that? If it goes past what the title says, it's bad. Like, fuck off. I don't know, man. Like that was some like r/anime bullshit, but this show's been great to me. I like it. You could definitely see the cracks in the production this week. It's nowhere close to the quality of the dragon fight we had a few weeks ago, but from my understanding that was a priority episode, so it's kind of to be expected. And let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like, those shit, support, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't already, and Patreon full live reactions do live over there to all these episodes and more, which also does help fund the channel. So if you're already over there, I'll give you a video shout out too, because my patrons will make it all possible over here. Alright, so today we got Wendy, John Menger, Echo, Time of Silver, Late Night Riddance, Corey Sami, Fan, Powolf, and Ale. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.